And now, I've got two brothers who are redheads, and it's fair to say that in New Zealand, gingers pretty much get a raw deal. And probably unintentionally, you've become a bit of a spokesperson for redheads in this country. And there was a bit of controversy when you dyed your hair. What happened?
Yeah, well, look, I have to confess, I'm not a natural redhead, and I'm, you know, it's a shame. I'd love to be. You know, I wish I didn't have to dye my hair, but I do. And you know, I love the kind of coppery tone that it is. I think it's better than any other kind of colours I've ever gone with, because you know, naturally I'm a mousy blonde basically, and no one wants to be a mousy blonde. It's just boring.
Right.
But anyway, but what actually happened was. I was in India earlier this year in about March, and I was doing some stories and things, and it wasn't so much that we dyed it blonde, but it just got lighter, and this is what happens, you see, if I don't dye it, it kind of washes out and gets lighter and lighter, and the sun lightens it, and because it was summertime, that's what happened. And
sure.
When I came back from India, the Red Sea Boys, I think they're called, they were a bit upset that it had got this light, you know, and they wanted it to be redder. And so I arrived at work one day, and there was this package on my desk with red roses, red wine, red hair dye, and a CD from the Red Sea Boys, and it was a song. But I had friends that were in Hong Kong and Japan and London that heard that song and contacted me about it.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
That's awesome. Not everyone can
we dyed it again, and everyone was okay. You know, everyone was happy again.
Realistically, every girl wants a song written about them, and you got flowers and wine and the whole deal as well. So that's pretty special.
Have you listened to the words of that song?
I've got it, and we're going to play it straight after this. Sam.
No, okay.
You're in for a treat.
Have a very careful listen, and then you make up your own mind about whether you'd like that song written about you or not.
Awesome. Hey, we're going to play that in just a moment for you, Sam. Before we do, though, do you have any advice for aspiring journos out there who might be listening?
My advice, and this is serious advice, and I do give this out as often as I possibly can, is to get experience while you're studying. You know, so whether you're at uni doing a degree, and it might not even be anything to do with media, you know, but you might think, hey, I kind of like the idea of doing it. Like I know I've got friends who are lawyers, but that also write, you know, they're freelance writers and that kind of thing. And the best advice, I think, is that if you are studying or working, whatever you're doing, always try and get some work experience at the same time. So the whole time I was at uni, I was volunteering at student radio stations and a student newspaper and that kind of thing. And so what that means is that you get that practical experience, and then if you are studying media, you can go back and apply it and say, well, actually, it doesn't work that way, or it does. I actually finished my degree at Vic while I was working for 3 News.
Yeah.
And my lecturer would say, you know, this was on the news last night, and this is what they did, and this is why they did it, and this is how they did it.
Right.
And then he'd look at me and say, is that right, Sam? And I'd say,
awkward.
No.
All right, so get your foot in the door. No matter what you're doing, get some experience, get your foot in the door.
Just get some experience, because that is really what matters. That's what is going to get you. And if anyone was watching on Wednesday night when I finished up on Nightline, there was a web clip that they played, and there was some, you know, different shots of me doing different bits and pieces over the years, and there was something that shocked my partner was very sort of long, bright red hair.
Yeah.
It was from when I was 17 doing work experience at Nightline for a month.
Oh wow.
And and it was funny because I got this big break doing a story with a band called Megadeth.
Yeah.
And so they sort of sent me out to do the story, and these guys, you know, were like, who's this that you sent along? And they ended up telling me some stuff that they hadn't talked about for anyone since they'd broken up with Metallica. So it was really, really cool. But what happened after that is, you know, I was super keen. I just wanted to get straight into television. But the producer of Nightline then said, go away and do 5 years of radio. And at the time I thought, he's blowing me off. You know, he doesn't think I've got what it takes or whatever. But the reality is I did actually go and do that. And I did go and work in radio for 5 years, which was not only some of the best times of my life, but gave me the experience. Now, do you know, when you get those countdowns like I was talking about earlier, sometimes your heart starts beating and your mouth goes dry and you just think, you know, come on, do the job. But if it wasn't for all those years of radio, you know, turning the mic on and just going for it, just talking, as, you know, you have to do every day.
Sound advice.
If it wasn't for that experience, I would not be able to do that Nightline job. So sometimes it might feel like you're going off on a tangent, but actually that's what's going to get you that job that you really want at the end of the day, you know.
That's awesome. Hey, Sam, thank you so much.
Good luck to anyone doing that.
Thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you covering environmental issues on the 6 o'clock news from now on.
That's right, yeah, on 6 News, better hours, hey?
Yeah, absolutely. Gotta love that.
Forward to that.
And we're going to play the Red Sea Boys song for you right now. It's All I Want to See Is Red on Your Head. Thanks so much, Sam.
Lovely. Cool, cheers. See you later.
Better when your hair was redder, ginger hair on your head. You did us wrong when you dyed it blonde, ginger hair on your head. Don't be a stench, go back to ginger hair on your head. I've never been fond of strawberry blondes, ginger hair on your head. 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 Samantha Hayes, dye it red. You read the news, but why don't you choose ginger hair on your head? You turn me on, but not when you're blonde. Ginger hair on your head. I'd take you to bed if your hair was red. Ginger hair on your head. Your nightline is over and so is my boner. Ginger hair on your head. 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 Samantha Hayes, dye it red. See is red on your head, on your head. And all I wanna see is red on your head, on your head. All I wanna see is red on your head, on your head. Ginger hair on your head, ginger hair on your head, ginger hair on your head. Samantha Hayes, dye it red. Ginger hair on your head. Ginger hair on your head. Ginger hair on your head. Samantha Hayes, dye it red. Ginger hair on your head. Ginger hair on your head. Ginger hair on your head. Samantha Hayes, dye it red.
Hit Radio X105.